We recovered 49 weapons, 5 pounds of methamphetamines, 10,000 fentanyl pills, and large amounts of cash. The Rolling 16 Crips have been around for decades, and by some estimates are among the largest gangs in the country, with factions in multiple states. Mr. Henley has been a known member of the Rolling 16 Crips since the 1980s, where he established his reputation and earned standing with fellow gang members. He has been able to use that standing to intimidate businesses and individuals and to commit various forms of violence, including the alleged murder outlined by the U.S. Attorney. He's also been able to influence others to give him money, only to defraud his victims, including defrauding the U.S., the government, the city of Los Angeles, and you, the taxpayer.
And look, on this channel, we don't just hold racist Caucasian people accountable. We also hold these type of people accountable, because if you unaliving your people, if you giving your people drugs that can ruin their lives, if you terrorizing your people, you are certified. And Big U, we ain't forget when Nipsey Hussle died, when he was murdered, you went live and said this.
Justice for them.
Your boy would have been there like, yeah,
you did. You did.
But we'll get into that later on in this video. In the meantime, let's get into this article so I can show y'all it's not just racist Caucasians that's trying to hold our people back. And this article is by NBC Los Angeles. It was published March the 21st, 2025, which was yesterday. Eugene Big U Henley Jr. linked to murder of former Crenshaw High football player, feds say. Rayshawn Williams was a rapper and former wide receiver for the Crenshaw High School football team, a longtime gang leader who is accused of using a charity organization as a front to run a criminal enterprise in South Los Angeles, may be linked to a brutal murder, authorities say. Federal prosecutors said there is probable cause to believe Eugene Big U Henley Jr. unalived a man named Rayshawn Williams in Las Vegas and dragged his body in the desert. And look, I want y'all to remember that part. He dragged his body in the desert and left him for dead. And I want y'all to do me a favor. It's a movie I want y'all to watch. It's one of my favorite movies by Spike Lee. I watch it at least 10 times a year. And every time I watch it, I get a new perspective. The movie is called Clockers. And in the movie, it was a character. His name was Rodney Little. Rodney Little is the main antagonist of the movie Clockers. He was a tyrannical, manipulative, and uncouth drug lord. And look, even though in the movie the cops were the bad guys, the cops was harassing the people in the projects, they was doing all that. Rodney Little was really the devil. He was the glue to the cops. He was paying the cops to keep them off of him. He was giving the cops information. He was giving the kids guns. He was giving the kids drugs, and he was giving them money, and he was manipulating their minds the whole time, the whole movie. The last time I watched it, I'm like, wait, Rodney Little is the evil person in this movie. And I said, wait. Big U is Rodney Little. Please go watch that movie. If you haven't seen Clockers, go watch that movie. Big U is really Rodney Little. Big U was paying the feds. Big U was getting paid by the feds. Big U was giving the feds information to save his ass. The whole time he didn't know. He's slow. I'm telling you, this dude, he didn't know that you can't trust these pigs. Once they finish with you, they gonna throw you away. They gonna lock you up. They don't care how old you are. They don't care how much money you gave them. They don't care how much you did for the community. They know you are a rat and they would never respect you, you big dummy. This dude, Big U, unalived a young black man, threw his body in the desert, and he thought that he could just move on with life and extort athletes, rappers, anybody, any black person that wants to come to LA and enjoy their life. He thought he could just harass them, take money from them, and just move on with life. What's wrong with these dudes? Make it make sense. Williams, according to court papers, was an artist for Hensley's label, Unique Music. After Williams wrote a song to diss Henley, the gang leader kidnapped and murdered Williams in retaliation, prosecutors said. And look, I'm going to tell y'all what happened. Williams, the young man that was dropped off in the desert to die by Big U, Big U started getting jealous of him, and the young dude saw that. He saw straight through Big U, and Big U ain't like that. That's why he had to kidnap him and unalive him. But it wasn't just him. He did the same thing to Nipsey. When Nipsey started becoming his own man, when Nipsey had his own lane, really helping the people, really not manipulating the people, really not terrorizing his people, Nipsey was positive. Nipsey was giving you game. You can go on YouTube right now, TikTok, Snapchat. You can go on all these platforms and put in Nipsey Hussle's name, and he gonna have interviews giving you the game, giving you motivation. Big U ain't doing that. Big U want to hold back the black community. That's why I say it's not just racist Caucasian people that's holding us back. It's people like Big U that's holding the community back. And I'm glad he locked up. I hope they keep him in there because he's the reason why LA is the way it is today. Nipsey died and this dude went on live and started laughing, started trolling. And I'm going to tell you the type of person Big U is. Big U is that house Negro that does everything Massa tells him to do. But at the end, Massa never respects him. You big dummy. Not only did Williams play for Crenshaw, he was teammates with Big U's son, Dayon Henley, who is now a linebacker with the LA Chargers. In 2023, the LA Times wrote a story about Dayon. NBC Los Angeles attempted to reach out to Dayon Henley for comments, but did not hear back. Eugene Henley Jr., aka Big U, will remain in federal custody until at least his detention hearing at the end of the month. And look, the game is so cold. Big U unalived his son's teammate, his son's best friend. Make that make sense. And shout out to LA. I love LA. I love my people from California. And at one time, LA had the hip hop game in a chokehold. And I say I love my people because in LA, in the South, we have ties. A lot of our people from the South went to California. A lot of our people from the South went to the East Coast. A lot of our people from the South went everywhere across this country. So I have no choice but to have love for my people in LA. But then they start murdering rappers. Then they start extorting people. And I think with Big U being in prison, I think with Big U being gone from the streets, the culture would change. LA would get back to making great music. LA would get back to being a real vibe instead of terrorizing your own people. And look, I'm going to just keep it real. I can't wait until the day we see who the real enemy is. And to me, in my opinion, the real enemy are these cops, these correctional officers that unalive our people in prison and they get away with it. So you can arrest these gang members all day, every day. But when it comes to these correctional officers that unalive our people on video, the whole world saw it. It takes you 3 months to arrest them and charge them. And they still have to go back to court, and we still don't know what's going to happen. They might just get off with this. But when it comes to us, they don't mind arresting us. They don't mind getting on camera and saying we did this. They don't mind doing that. So you have to realize, our people, one day, we have to realize who the real enemy is. So to you, Big U, ain't it ironic how you dropped that young man off in the desert to die? And now you're about to die in prison in the desert. Make it make sense. Rest in peace to Rayshawn Williams. I'm out.
This is my last video before I turn myself in. I'm with my family. Talk to my sons. I talk to everybody, man. I'm just saying, going to deal with this fight, see what it is. I just want y'all to know, all this stuff is quagmire. Shit is all bull crap. I just need y'all prayers. I need y'all to... I don't even know what to say. Now, 21 years, I've elevated my family. Come back, sit in here and write and do what I need to do until I can come back home. People are supposed to help me. I hope you help me. If you can't, you don't worry about it. A lot of stuff y'all hearing is straight trash. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate the people who've been helping me. I don't know. It's hard helping black people and not being hunted. doing it.
First Street, it might be to, I don't know if it's to the right or the left.
Reach out to anybody who can help me, y'all.
You hear me?
Help my own family. Appreciate y'all. Go.